leaving St. Augustine. Where are we going?
We are going to Fort Pierce.
How far is that?
Well, if we go all the way in one time, it'll be 150. If we stop, it'll be 50. So we might pop into Port Orange, depending how it's like out here. From St. Augustine, we came out after a big load of thunderstorms, had a nice sail down past Cape Canaveral, and we were heading for Fort Pierce, but then we decided to carry on and come into West Palm, right down here in the central Florida. A nice sail today out of St. Augustine. We have wind just behind the beam, which means apparent wind is just in forward of the beam. Big cold front came through last night with thunder and lightning, and today we have the lovely offshore breeze, which is starting to produce a few waves, but not bad. Sitting about 8.5, 9 knots. So nice to actually be sailing for once. I don't think we've had a proper sail since the Chesapeake. Beautiful blue sky. Lovely. Through here we have a 100-foot ketch overtaking us. I don't like things overtaking us, but 105 feet, I think we are outgunned. The sun is setting over Cape Canaveral. Well, actually, it's just up here. We've been trudging along very nicely in this 14 to 20 knot breeze on the beam, and about averaging 8 knots. Beautiful night. We had the motor on a bit last night, bugger, and now the wind's just come back in from the other side, as forecast, and we are sailing. Yes, the pole was out. We had a little bit of an experiment with that. Didn't go too well. Lasted half an hour of slamming and banging, and I'll put the motor on. Oh, lovely blue water. Blue water. I'm looking forward to blue water. Beautiful. Just going right next to the coast. Maybe just a mile or two off. Beautiful to be sailing again. Just coming up to West Palm now. High-rise buildings in the distance. Almost sad to stop sailing. So delightful, the cool fresh air, but warm. Highfield's enjoying the ride. Holly the Highfield. Just struggling along at 6 to 7 knots. Look at the colour of that sky. Hallberg Rassy blue.
Coming into Palm Beach. New cruising grounds for us. Very busy with power boats. We get lots away from them. Several more behind us.
Welcome to Florida.
Anchored in what seems to be a very busy area. Must be hundreds of boats here, anchored behind us and in front of us.
Nice palm-treed Florida road. Makes you think, well, I feel like you're somewhere warm.
This is Palm Beach.
This is very classy. This would be called the Brand Street, I think.
That's exactly what it is. Lots of nice shops.
The Christmas tree.
Properties here are amazing. This is the perfectly trimmed hedges territory.
Incredible. We're in the heart of Fort Lauderdale on the New River, where we wanted to come and dock, but they told us no space, which is annoying because I can see lots of spaces. Would be very interesting.
One of the many bridges that boats need to go under. A very nicely done area. Las Olas Avenue, which is very pretty.
Lovely trees, decorations.
I bet it's even nicer in the evening with the lights on.
This is Florida. Houses onto waterways, swimming pools, palm trees, jetties, and your own dock. What do you call it? What do you call it? Those
Manatee?
Manatee, yeah. It's a huge manatee. Well, I never did. I thought it was a sculpture. A manatee sitting right here in the middle of Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale Beach. And it's busy.
Very busy. The resorts line up.
The Conrad, the W, the Hilton. We're heading for a restaurant called Pelican's Landing, and we seem to have landed amongst a whole bunch of super yachts. Not sure we're going to get a cheap sandwich. What do you think?
Maybe they'll allow us to do the dishes.
Well, if we do the dishes, we might get a cheap sandwich. Here's the Pelican Landing, right next to the Seven Seas, another British tax-dodging super yacht to join ours.
You. And this is Las Olas by night. Quite spectacular. I'm definitely in love with this city. Marooned in West Palm for a few days now due to heavy rain and winds. And Glenn has resumed work on wiring the future solar panels on the Bimini.
Just putting in the input where it goes into the battery first. All the way through here, up through here, and up into there.
And this is why we've been marooned on board for the last 3 days. It's a bit crazy. Decided to come ashore today. We're running out of fruits. Can hardly keep balance on these docks. Let's go. After 1 week marooned in West Palm, we've decided to make a move, taking our chances on the ICW. Fingers crossed. There shouldn't be any electricity cables over the bridges, according to our chart. Flagler Memorial, the first bridge. First out of maybe 12, I think. Waiting for the opening. Passing the town now in between the 2 bridges. Next one.
What is your air clearance with the bridge open, please? Thank you. That's not mentioned in my pilot. Thank you.
And 2 bridges is all we managed.
What up? I researched that all day yesterday. It didn't say anything about air height on this bridge that's 65 feet. Now we can see it's very clear.
3 is not a lucky number. We need to go back. 180 turn. Going back to where we came from. New addition to our diving gear.
Another engine to look after. It's about our 6th engine on the boat.
The Hookah Airline. 5:30 in the morning, Christmas Eve. Finally leaving West Palm. Here is the captain, or his iPad.
Hello. Turning hard to starboard down the Florida coast. From our nice little anchorage in Lake Worth in West Palm, we tried to go down the inland waterway, but that didn't work. So we ended up coming all the way down the outside, very, very close to the coast, and came into Fort Lauderdale and took the inland waterway down to South Lake at Hollywood.
Sailing along Florida coast. Nice scenery. Almost halfway to Hollywood. We are on a deadline to arrive there by 1 p.m. to pick up the rental car. Still no plans for Christmas. Probably in Fort Lauderdale. Into the channel for Hollywood. After an encounter with the Coast Guard, we are down the channel, going through the first bridge. And the second bridge. Yesterday afternoon we anchored in Hollywood, in South Lake. Sunny, peaceful and quiet today as opposed to yesterday. It was blowing and very choppy and very dark sky. Christmas today. Merry Christmas. Going ashore for a Christmas lunch. The public dinghy dock is under reconstruction. So we found a spot yesterday evening. We are going to improvise here. Captain is ready.
We bought one of our smallest fenders.
There's absolutely nothing to tie the dinghy to. We tied the dinghy on one of the pillars. My captain is very resourceful, isn't he?
Well, this is our mooring setup. Special mooring, the only place anybody's managed to moor a dinghy properly here. Let's just hope it's still here.
in Fort Lauderdale, having a stroll along the beach before lunch to raise our appetite. Not that we need to. Very busy here. Lots of people about.
Christmas has started. Going for our Christmas lunch. Only a quick beer. Starters before we go. Happy Christmas, everybody.
As we sit for a drink, Santa is visiting the terrace, handing out gifts.
This is No Name Harbour, which we've come to investigate. It looks a little bit crowded. Oh, it's about to rain.
Again.
Just for a change. Miami Beach on a wild and windy day. Still people on it enjoying it. This day after Christmas. Fancy a swim? Still a bit of a sunbathe? I don't think so. Miami Beach strip. Very much 1920s and 30s Art Deco architecture here all the way along. It's nice to see they haven't knocked it all down.
Miami Beach take 2. It's a bit sunnier now. People are venturing on the beach, even if it's so windy.
Look, Baywatch has got cars now.
And this is the walk along the beach. Very nicely done. Very different from what we've seen in other places.
Very nice boardwalk, without boards, the kind of boardwalk type thing, like.
Downtown Miami, lots of skyscrapers. Reminds me of Dubai somehow. The Miami Marina, one of the 2 marinas in Miami where we could potentially come in. It is very, very noisy.
It's gonna be a bit of a zoo to be here. 2 sailing boats.
Not to mention it's bloody expensive. Miami by night, very loud and very busy.
Nice little area.
Just at anchor from South Lake in Hollywood, Florida, heading back out into the sea.
From South Lake we came into Lauderdale, got our last fuel in the USA, headed out into a very rough sea, all the way down the coast until we got to Biscayne Cay, and we came through some very, very shallows into Biscayne Bay, where we anchored calmly for the night. Our last stop in USA.
Hollywood Street Bridge is opening for us now. 1 out of 3. Lots of restaurants on the water's edge. The second bridge. At the third bridge, a little bit of a traffic jam. Large boat in front of us and another big one behind. Yet another bridge to get to the fuel dock. Fueling up for the last time before we leave the USA.
Last chance to cheap fuel.
Very nice in here. Such a shame we couldn't anchor here or dock in town. Out at sea is a bit wild. We have a double rainbow behind us. Judging by the decks, you can tell that we've had a fair bit of waves over. 18 to 22 knots of wind. We tried with the cutter, but it was too slow. So now we are sailing under Reef Genoa and Maine. Rather rough, but here we have the most amazing view of Miami. I really miss Dubai. The lights of those skyscrapers are exactly like we had them in Dubai. This is where we anchored last night, when we could only see the lights from ashore. It was peaceful till earlier, when all the boats came out for the weekend. And there is Miami. Close enough, but we can't touch it. Leaving Biscayne Bay, Florida, and the United States, heading across to the Bahamas.